Hey, Dr. Boer. I just wanted to create a video to show you how much I appreciated all the help you've given me over the years and the role model that you are, turning me into not only a historian, but also a better teacher. So, when I met you the first time at St. Mary's when I was a bright-eyed freshman, 18 years old, coming in from small town Minnesota, you were pretty intimidating, being from the Netherlands and the bald head and stern looks. It scared me a little bit. I was frightened a bit, but the more as I got to know you, it was clear that you weren't scary at all, as much as maybe you want to be. But um, it was clear to me how much you cared about your students and about us as people, too. This first showed in you being my advisor. The lofty expectations that I had for myself doing a Spanish major, social studies, secondary education, and also getting a certification in teaching Spanish, it wasn't an easy task to fit all my classes together in a schedule that would work to get me out of St. Mary's in 4 years. But somehow, in some way, you were able to do it through hours of pouring through my materials with me, basically just doing it for me. And so it was one more thing off of my shoulders. I just really want you to know that I appreciate that, and someone does see the work that you're doing, and that's us, the students, and all the work that you did for my schedule to make sure I had the right classes and I was where I needed to be in order that I didn't have to worry about it to graduate. It really means a lot to me, and I'm very appreciative for the work that you did. Also, letting me work for you. That was just a lot of fun. It was good to come in, just shoot the breeze with you for a little bit, and then make a couple copies and kind of be introduced to what it was like preparing for a class, being a teacher, making sure that I have everything in order beforehand. Not the day of, but days in advance. That kind of preparation, even at your level, taking it from your example, will be wonderful for me to show that to my students and be this great role model for them, just as you are for me. Next in class, my first class with you wasn't until spring semester of junior year with the history of rock and roll. And from my first day in class with you, it was evident that you are this incredibly intelligent teacher, professor, and person, and you brought this directly into the classroom. And usually when we think of that, it's boring and long, drawn out. But you made it a lot of fun for us. And if it wasn't fun, it was at least engaging. And you drew us into the class and showed us that what you're showing us is valuable. That it's not just one history of America, the white history, which is the easy one to tell because it's what everyone knows. You taught us that it was more than just one kind of people that made up history and that contributed to the success of the United States and the world, and that these people need to be recognized as well. And because of that, I'm bringing that directly into my classroom and my philosophy as well, because it's not just one kind of people that created history. And just know that your teaching will be living through me as well, and will be going on to the countless students that I'm going to have in the future. Lastly is the work that you've helped me with my senior thesis. When I started it, I had no clue what I was going to do. I know I loved soccer, and I wanted to do something with Latin America. I think the history of Latin America is greatly undertold, and you helped me find something that I was extremely interested in and found fascinating, and combined both my love for soccer and Latin America through the 1978 World Cup and the Dirty War and the Junta. You provided me endless examples of signposts I could use, different things to talk about, resources, sites, even different books that you had that you let me borrow and that I still have, with Brilliant Orange, great book. And also just the things you translated for me from Dutch. The time that you took out of your own schedule, your own personal life in order to do that for me. And again, the amount of interest that you shown into it really pushed me forward, and it kept me going when I was so down about the progress I'd made, about, well, I guess the little progress that I had made, about not having any direction where to go, not understanding where to go next. You were always there to keep pushing me forward, not telling me what to do, but instead guiding me along this path to what I should write, to where I should be going. You weren't telling me what to think, but guiding me through the sources and different tidbits of the information that you had towards what I thought about it through the lens of historical thinking, through one of the many lenses that history has. And while that all means so much to me, and I really don't think I could have got it done without you, it was such an insurmountable task that meeting every once in a while with you, getting that encouragement, getting that help, it provided me the little boosts that I needed to keep going. And that's going to really help me with my students also, because I saw this same thing happening with other students that you met with. It seemed like all day long you were always in meetings, you were teaching class, you were in meetings with other professors, and it speaks to the dedication that you have for your colleagues in the school, but the care that you have for your students, that out of your busy schedule you take a lot of time to meet individually with them. And I hope to do that same thing with my students. So I can't speak enough to the great role model that you've been for me. And also lastly, with being sent home, I've just got my little list of some things you've done for me. But lastly, with all of us being sent home, I know it was super difficult for you too. You mentioned to us that you were really sick, and transitioning from being at St. Mary's to home has been difficult for you, and it's been really difficult for us too. I know personally, it being my last semester and having, like I said, all this fun with you and getting to know you and having you be my mentor in history and also with teaching, whether you knew it or not, it was really hard to leave. And I felt like I had so much more time with you, so much more time to learn and grow. And this time over the internet hasn't really felt like what it needed to be. But it's what we got. And I just wanted to let you know that through your acceptance of this is a tough situation, but keep going, you got it. Your encouragement, meeting with me over Zoom, meeting with our classes, still giving us the privilege to present what we've been working on for, at least for me, it's been a year and a half now in front of the history professors. It really means a lot because there hasn't been much culmination of our time at St. Mary's, but this and you pushing this for us to present in front of the faculty and our friends, our classmates, really means a lot. And I hope this gives you a little boost moving forward into finals and into the summer, knowing that you've made a tremendous impact on my life. Just when I was at St. Mary's and now going forward into my classroom. You showed me that learning and the content can be rigorous, it can be difficult, it can be super frustrating at times. But also once it's done, I just finished my thesis. It's super rewarding knowing that I can do all of that with the help of extremely knowledgeable people around me. I don't have to do things on my own because I don't think I would have done it without you. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done, and I'll never forget everything you have done for me because it'll show in the kind of teacher and person that I am going forward, and I hope you take a lot of pride in knowing that the lessons that you taught me and how you modeled yourself, I will be projecting to my students, showing them that this is how you should act, this is how I act, this is the correct way to go forward in an educational and professional setting, and also a good way to build relationships with students, because I could tell that you cared about us, and that really means a lot, especially in a place where we're so far away from our friends and our family and that support system that we had. To come in and know that there's someone like you that is so caring about us, it allows us to push forward. And you were one of those people for me. So I hope this brings you some joy, gets you through, lets you know that during this tough time, what you're doing, it's right, it's working, and it's actually helping us. Because I know it really helped me a lot. I'll always treasure our time together that we had, and I look forward to keeping in contact with you. Maybe going and have some wings at your lacrosse spot. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We can talk some soccer. Maybe not about the 1978 World Cup, but I know that's your favorite, so maybe we could. So thank you, Dr. DeBoer. I'll hopefully see you soon.